What is up, you guys? It's Ayo Niv and welcome back to another demo Let's Play. Today we playing Pink Noise. That's scary. Act 1 along shady alleys. Yep. Going places we ain't supposed to go. Fall comes to Rua with chilling winds, and the first drizzle of bleak mist obscures the narrow street, clinging to the rooftops, tangling in the bushes, and swirling around the fields. Fog and murky blackness suits the peculiar suburb. Nestled amidst the forests and mountains, it's a decaying, quiet place waiting for winter. As the evening wears on, the town is wrapped in thickening twilight with only a few streetlights serving as solitary islands of illumination in an ocean of darkness. On one such evening, ordinary and cold, 4 teenagers are strolling around an old park, engrossed in a lively discussion. The first fallen leaves rustle underfoot as the wind reaches the trees, their branches grown out a long, plaintive creak as if already lamenting the loss of their motley attire. 2 of the teens, a tall boy and a fair-haired girl, walk hand in hand. Their friend carefully hops from one paved slab to the next, bouncing as though a bottomless chasm might yawn open beneath them. A quiet, stooping boy in glasses trails behind them, casting glances at the road. Ahead, the street splits in two, then veers sharply out towards a wasteland. Just a half century before, a tiny school stood there. Now, only a barely discernible foundation and heaps of broken bricks choked by stubborn vines remains to remind them of its erstwhile existence. Year by year, students have taken the path, carrying with them their thoughts and fears, high hopes and grand dreams, from tough exams and first crushes to bullies, bonks on the head, or simply yearning to be the star player of the local team. Be it aglow in autumn gold, soaked in verdant summer green, or blanketed beneath snowdrifts, Riverwood will never forget them, just as they'll never forget their town and its secret. The older a place grows, the more mysteries to keep locked away. One of the girls leaps into a distorted blur of light casted by an old street lamp. Ain't gonna catch me. Eva wipes slow, shadowy webs off her cardigan. Gossamer threads only she can perceive. She glances at the overgrown bushes, which have long since forgotten the tender care of gardening shears. Okay. Soon, star athlete, popular girls, nerd, and optimist.
Сегодня без ужина, чудище.
Oh. Okay. It says February. I forgot what day. Now, chow time tonight, besties. Or beasties? The other girl scoffs at her friend's silly gesture.
Будь Брайан таким же ловким, нам не пришлось бы торчать в школе до ночи. Кабинет химии еще никогда не был таким чистым, как после сегодняшней уборки.
If Brian was as agile as you, we wouldn't have been stuck in school after dark. The chemistry room's never been so tidy. She wriggles her fingers to demonstrate her palms, red and wrinkled from the hot water.
Я ж не виноват, что миссис Хоупстоун не потрудилась сохранить достаточно зубов, чтобы не шепелявить и плеваться, а внятно объяснить, что бутылку нужно было оставить открытой.
Is this Russian? Or is it German? It's not my fault Mrs. Hopestone didn't save enough teeth to avoid spitting and lisping. Besides, she should have explained it better. The bottle must have been left open.
Вообще-то объяснила. Но ты положил медицинский спирт не одну таблетку хлора, а 3. Ясное дело, что реакция пошла более бурная.
Actually, she explained it just fine. You still put 3 chlorine tablets in the rubbing alcohol instead of 1. Surprise, surprise, the reaction was extreme.
Хлопок удался что надо. У меня до сих пор в левом ухе звенит.
Yeah, that bang was something else. My left ear's still ringing. Eva stops hovering in a faint halo of light and nods. She's never been reprimanded at school before today. Sure, she would have been way more upset if it hadn't been Brian's fault, but still. Just another adventure. Something her and her friends will laugh about one day. And a happy memory is worth more than any reprimand, especially when her parents will probably forget about it tomorrow.
Ладно.
Okay, that's Brian. He raises his hands
В следующий
apologetically.
раз, когда снова
Next time we
будем
team up, I
работать в
won't let you
команде, я
down.
вас не подведу.
I'll put in 2 chlorine
Положите 2
tablets.
таблетки хлора.
It was supposed to be 1 still. The group passes a row of houses as dissimilar to one another as if ever possible in a suburb. The timeline houses windows glow faintly in sepia tones, as though the light itself has aged and can no longer disperse the deepening darkness. Ow! The building they pass seems to be contending for the greatest neglect. Every other resident would be considered an eccentric in any other way. For instance, Greybone has leaned on the rusty mower on his front stoop instead of a cane for 2 decades. The abandoned duplex across the road still bears the scars of a long-forgotten fire. Its windows are boarded up during the day. It has a miserable look. The teens keep their distance.
Дом миссис...
Oh, dang it. I thought she was done. The gloomy old lady had knitted yet another pear-shaped cat and proudly displayed it on her terrace, thus expanding her ugly army.
Ты же заходила к ней на чай.
Right, you had a cup of tea together. Did baby Tony apologize? Once, Eva's brother had flinched one of the cats and taken it home. Neither of their parents had called any attention to it, so she had to explain herself that taking other people's belongings without permission was wrong. Oh, that's fucked up.
Извинялась я.
No, I was the one to apologize. Miss Harvitz didn't say a word. She only gave us a cold stare and sniffed loudly. She scared poor Tony so much that he couldn't fall asleep for half a
Ты
night.
же так печешься о брате.
You have such a giving heart when it comes to your brother. You might be raising a hell of a night. Why in the world would he want to snatch a cat, though?
Он же совсем мелкий.
He's just a little kid. He came, he saw, he took it home. There's no need to tell her friends that Tony had intended to give Eva the cat. He knew she wanted a pet more than anything in the world. He thought he could cheer her up with at least a toy one. He'd never taken anything that didn't belong to him before, not out of fear of getting caught or punished. He simply found stealing shameful. Tony would sooner give away his breakfast than steal something from someone weaker than him. No doubt that kind of attitude will make school harder for him, but such is his nature. Contemplating her brother's heart of gold, Eva smiled softly. Eva was the girl with the skirt. They passed by Miss Harvitz's terrace, curiously eyeing her odd doll. Twilight makes the cat's silhouette look eerie. These pearl button-eyed glimmers in the fading light as if they know secrets that have been buried too long. If I go crazy one day, I'm definitely buying a nice crib close to the park. The neighbors here match me perfectly. Yeah, I can't stand this street. It's like it's lost in time and space. How about we head through the square? No one protests, so she led them onward, sweeping into the nearest alley. A gust of wind burst through the narrow walkway, permeating the air with the stench of raw wooden planks and rotting garbage. The house in the alley looks like they've been copied and pasted. They were lightly built at the same time to house factory workers. The only thing that difference is the light in the window, on or off, making it clear whose shift it is tonight. 2 Christmases before, Brian got beaten up here. Some high school parents apparently didn't appreciate his sharp tongue. They'd shove him into a snowbank and pack snow under his sweater. But most of the humiliating part was a neighbor kicking them all out. She came out onto the doorstep with one of Brian's classmates, a cute but overly chatty girl. By the very next day, the whole school had heard the story about him shaking snow out of his pants and whimpering like a puppy. Is Brian the guy with the glasses or the other dude? He would have preferred... Oh, dang. Brian adjusts a backpack full of baseball equipment, which has crawled down his shoulder, and walks up to Ashley. I'm so vetted with the stupid school, all these teachers, homeworks, tests.
Но учебный год только начался.
But the year just started. That only makes me want to study even less. There's nothing worse than coming back to school after summer. He jumped over a puddle and takes Ashley's hand. Oh, that is Brian. It's like wearing old trainers you've already grown out of. I can't wait for college. When I start working, I'll buy real catcher's gear or at least a better glove. His palms still hurt from Friday's practice session. The equipment donated to their team left much to be desired. Better buy a slugger straight away. It'll pay off much sooner. Best case scenario, you can be a bouncer at a bar. Ashley laughs at his childishness. Brian doesn't get the complexity of the world at all. Yeah, I believe it. Dad says a good job like his is hard to find without higher education. Ashley grabs her Leo Zodiac pendant. It's a nervous habit, something she does whenever she says something important. It calms her. College is just another place to study. This world's too cruel. Illness, starvation, school. I like school though. Michael tries to squeeze into the conversation. All along, he's been trailing behind the others, glancing suspiciously at parked pickups as if they might bite. He hasn't kept up with his friends since he noticed two silhouettes in an old Ford. One female, one male. Oh my god! The mutilated faces stared back at him. He could have sworn he heard a hoarse, gurgling whisper. Then a light had flashed over one of the doorsteps, dispersing the darkness. Suddenly, both seats were empty again, and the strange vision turned into nothing but a local flour mill uniform hanging from the grab handle. Oh yeah, that. Michael wipes the sweat off his forehead and listens carefully to his friends. Of course, I'd love school too if I had your scores, Mikey. Exactly. Agreeing, Ryan quickly squeezes Ashley's hand. Maybe I should wear glasses too. Sounds like horror doesn't look so boring to him. They walk by the Red Ox front garden and onto a street flooded with pink and blue neon store signs. You better stop complaining. We only have 3 years of school left. Just imagine. Life's gonna be completely different afterwards. We might lose touch. To Eva, the idea of moving away feels like teleporting to an unfamiliar planet. So many new places, people, places, and interesting stories. She hasn't even fully explored Riverwood yet. In her mind, the town's old houses and old residents still harbor so many secrets. I know I pronounced that word. I can't figure it out. In darkness. In comparison, some unknown huge city feels like a bottomless well. Impossible to fully drain even if you had 100 years. In a future like that, it would be hard to make time for anything from the past. But she doesn't plan to forget her loved ones forever. If friendship's real, distance means nothing. My dad calls his friends from other states every single day. She's tempted to add that they mainly have business conversations and argue often, but they don't need to know that. In her mind, her parents are role models everyone should strive to imitate, not just her and her brother. There isn't a single family in the entire town happier or more close-knit than Ashley's, and that's nothing but the truth. Well, a couple of cornfields and state borders ain't enough to break you up. What the hell do Ashley's dad, your love, and cornfields have in common? Look around. Eva stops and points towards the house swaying in the darkness. Is anything really happening up here? Crunk Jim driving a tractor into a ravine was practically the only breaking news here in 6 months. Well, adulthood is a real challenge. People grow up, then they start to feel sorry that time flew by so fast and they want to experience school life again. She paused, searching for the right words. Quoting someone else is one thing, but will she soon regret those bygone days herself? After all, Eva already recalls her early childhood with nostalgic warmth. Back then, every little thing felt like it was brimming with wonder. Now, a doll is no longer a sorceress, princess, or a traveler from a faraway world. A toy soldier is just a piece of plastic, and a blanket no longer. Making stories up for others is simple. But how are you supposed to fix yourself? Maybe the older you get, the duller and more colorless the world becomes. It's like going back to a fairy tale you weren't grateful enough for earlier. They're just nice words, nothing more. Bring adults back to the textbooks and they'll howl all day. I don't remember any fairy tales where the characters were forced to read Walt Whitman's poetry. What about you, Michael? Me neither. The friends stroll from one store to the next, looking at the flickering signs. Up close, they no longer seem bright and cheerful. They look rather ramshackle and out of place in the debilitated suburb. Let's go home, okay? Dad's on shift today. But if he comes back to grab a bite to eat, I ain't there. Brian scratches his neck and sticks out his tongue. Ashley laughs and punches him in the shoulder. Michael, trailing behind everyone, suddenly stops and looks at the only sign that still sparkles as brightly and cheerfully as the day it was hung. The arcade's open. I doubt there's anyone in there this late. We can play Street Fighter. Usually calm and quiet, he now blossoms. Behind his thick glasses, his eyes shine with passion. Totally. No stupid helpers, suckers, or high school jerks. The boys lean against the dusty window as happy as if they're meeting their idols. The girls only snort in irritation. What, suddenly you're not gonna run back to your crib to avoid daddy's shell lacking? I'll risk it. There's always a chance dad'll kick you in the head. But a chance to throw Hadoukens and not wait in freaking line for the game? Now that's rare. It takes a little to make them happy, doesn't it? Ashley glances at her friend. Let him play. By the way, did you hear about the arcade machine that appears in the hall by itself? Ashley rolls her eyes. Eva's fantasies and reality have little in common. Her friends refuse to grow up. In her world, even a tattered old shoe might open its jaw and spin some ridiculous yarn. And that's exactly why Ashley adores Eva. She's so incredibly different from Ashley's overly rational parents, and from Ashley too. With her, getting bored is an impossible mission. Even if they were both locked in an empty basement, Eva would still manage to discover something fascinating there. She'd pull Ashley in and get her into trouble again. They giggle about it later. But Eva doesn't need to know that. It isn't like anyone can stop her anyway. You start playing and can't stop. The game never ends. It's impossible. But you try over and over again, forgetting about eating or even going to the bathroom over and over again, not thinking your parents and friends over and over again until you run out of your allowance, can't afford breakfast, and stay hangry for the rest of the week because you're dumb. Michael peels away from the glass and adjusts his lopsided glasses. Well, that doesn't sound so scary if you got no allowance to begin with. Want to go in or what? Gosh, they're looking at us like dogs staring at steak. Ashley waves her hand authoritatively. It's creepy to go home when it's so dark out, but if you win 100 tickets, me and Eva are gonna pick a prize. It's high time for games? Oh, Act 2. Okay. The spacious room is somehow stiffy, permeated with the stench of hot plastic unsuccessfully covered up by a pungent berry air freshener. Ugh. Smells like wasted time. As if this shack smells nothing like school. The clamor of screensaver and demo walkthroughs meld into a terrible cacophony. No wonder the zoned out cashier shooting himself from it with the set of greasy cushioned headphones. The walls are plastic with posters, promotional flyers, and all sorts of paper trash. However, one ad stands out. If you beat a record, you can win tickets and exchange them for a prize. Such generosity was easily explained with the start of the school year. Kids have a bit more cash in their pockets than usual. There's no inside except the cashier, yet the floor is peppered with trash from crumbled soda cans to chocolate bar wrappers. The arcade closed in 30 minutes. Local kids can only hang out here at this hour in the summer. The hall is packed with all sorts of arcade machines, each game's name glowing invitingly. Clips of characters deliberately failing to beat different levels flash on the screen over and over again. The boys start searching for the most interesting game. Hey, Donkey can't. Oh, can they say that? Donkey Kong, an arcade golden oldie. The game machine is ancient and in poor condition. The sign barely even flickers anymore. One of the buttons is cracked. Galaga? This was one of the most famous games. Now this veteran arcade camera is used only while the others are busy or when a couple of truly insane nerds try and fail to break the record of someone named Lily the Rat once or twice a month. Street Fighter is the best game the hall has ever seen. Ryu and Ken are frozen on the signboard, ready to jump each other. The floor around the arcade machine is brightly polished, worn down by student sneakers. It's over there. Oh. The boys run towards the machine. It hasn't yet been wrecked the way some of its time-worn neighbors have. Even so, the buttons and plastic casting bear scuffs, cracks, and grubby marks left by countless kids' hands. Worst of all, instead of some thrilling music, the machine is emitting only a hoary wheeze, like an old man struggling to clear his throat, and instead pushing a death rattle out of its rusty lungs. A piece of cardboard with a blood-curdling inscription is stuck to the screen. Temporarily out of order, no cashier cannot fix it. Huh. God, where is your justice? Who's the god of computer nerds? The monkey holding the barrel? Brian grumbles something in response, and Michael just shrugs. A technician's coming, but not till at least next Tuesday, so y'all need to choose some other game. Try Road Blaster, it's the freshest here. The cashier points to the brand new arcade game displaying a car blowing up and drowning in a fiery pixelated cloud. Dang it. Michael's voice trembles. He seldom lets himself betray such emotion, but Brian has his back. What else have you got other than cars? All that in the bag of chips. If you rank in the top 5 of Pumpkin Man, I'll give you a double prize. He nods towards the counter. Alright, no one really plays this trash. We've got a real shot at setting the record. A gray cat lounging on a chair next to another machine captures the girl's attention. 4-letter shrine on their pink collar. Lucy. So sweet. The cat flattens her ears and grumbles. I bet you $5 she doesn't remember how clean hands with no cheese balls does feel on them. She's kind of looks like the cat Mom was trying to paint last month. Let me guess, the cat in the painting had mandibles and a pair of tentacles? Ugh, I wish. She was just in the background. Mom paints people, you know how it is. Ashley knows. She wishes she did though. Those paintings are why she prefers inviting Eva over rather than visiting her. Well, one of the reasons anyway. They had a slumber party at Eva's place twice. Both nights Ashley had been plagued by nightmares. The root cause was a few masterpieces Eva's mom considered her favorites. Compared to those monstrosities, plain old horror movies were practically bright, cheery cartoons. And they're playing Pac-Man. Meanwhile, the boys approached the coin-operated Pumpkin Man. Okay, so I don't understand. So they could say Donkey Kong in this game, but they say Pumpkin Man for Pac-Man? Okay. Instead of usual Mr. or Mrs. Pac-Man, a bright orange pumpkin is flying around the tough levels eating licorice candies. The display sears their eyes with poisonous shades as a bunch of colorful blots chase the vocarious pumpkins. What do you think? Are these ghosts? Michael peers at the sign. Here's a hunter shooting the pumpkin with a shotgun. They're relentless, restless hunter souls then.
Отлично.
Awesome, let them catch the pumpkin. Everyone's happy. The hunters are safe in their graves and we're home. Brian deceivingly draws a handful of coins from his pocket and inserts them. The coins clatter through the machine's metal innards and settle in its stomach. The maze dissolves into pixels and rearranges itself into the first level. Its corridors are speckled with candies and the ghosts begin darting ravenously around the cage. Back home? With no prize? I ain't leaving till we empty out that prize counter. The cashier shrugs at the thought. We close in half an hour. Brian winks at Michael. Then he's gonna have 15 minutes left over to cry over his empty counter. Oh. This point just like Pac-Man, swear to God.
Черт, они загнали тебя в угол.
Так, этот уровень наш.
And it's moving like it's Pac-Man too.
Беги налево. Так, этот уровень наш.
I'm dead here. Yeah, this thing. Even Pac-Man's a little bit more fluid in this game. Dang it, I was not trying to do that.
Сейчас.
Беги налево.
Oh, I didn't get to it fast enough. Damn. Then I had to play the whole thing and beat it, I'm assuming? Like in one go?
Теперь моя очередь.
Сейчас.
Yeah, this thing is, every time I try to go up, it just doesn't let me do it.
Беги налево.
Yeah, I missed that ghost even though I clearly was trying to go down, but okay.
Сейчас.
Так, этот уровень наш.
Oh my goodness. The up and down keys are killing me right now.
Теперь моя очередь.
Literally was trying to go through the corner piece. Thank you, because my God, that's getting on my nerves. That's it, give me tickets, you stupid club iron. The cabinet releases 50 tickets that could be exchanged for an interesting item. Although they like to keep playing a bit longer, they've run out of spare change, and Brian would never, ever borrow money from a girl. Michael feels a bit awkward since he's never had any pocket money at all, but a friendly slap on the back snaps him back to his thoughts.
Молодчина, Майкл.
Good job, Michael. You played like a beast. You two did a lot better on this than in chemistry class today. Not sure I could complete the level where there was more ghosts than candies. Brian looks around with a self-satisfied smile, but to his disappointment, the girls aren't there to celebrate his triumph. They're just emerging from the bathroom, discussing
Вы
something.
такое
You
пропустили?
missed something amazing. Did you land a space shuttle? No. Then I don't see any reason for such delirious joy. Good God. Brian points to the ticket Michael told him. Nah, what we did is way cooler than any shuttle. Let's go. High time you picked the prize. The cashier isn't around. The only movement in the whole arcade is a decorative bamboo curtain slowly swaying behind the counter. The cashier's headphones are still lying on the lower part of the counter, and a lonesome sausage is rolling around the jar. All of a sudden, the hall seems empty. Where'd he go? Don't know. Brian carefully approaches the counter and taps on the table with his knuckle. They hear shambling behind the bamboo curtain. Someone exhales loudly, and they all freeze. The game machines start beeping, and I didn't get that word. The signboard's lights dim as a devouring darkness creeps into the halls. Eva impatiently examines the counter, the prize, the poster, and tacked up on the top another, then shouts, "Hello, anyone here?" No reply. Alright, let's bounce. I don't want to wait for this free. That is not fucking funny. The cashier takes off his mask and bursts into laughter. Y'all should see y'all's faces. We shouldn't even gasp. What a boring prank. The cashier grimaces as though he's taking a swig of lemon juice. Ugh, critics. Alright, pick a prize. I see y'all got plenty of tickets. Ooh, 8-ball. Nintendo Game Boy, 10,000 winning tickets, the best prize ever. The boy's wildest dream. I wonder how long you have to play to win that many tickets. Fine, let's try the 8-ball. Magic 8-ball, 50 winning tickets. A magic 8-ball. Ashley will love this toy as she believes in a fortune telling and horoscopes. Slinky, 20 winnings. A red Slinky, an American Golden oldie. You can perform lots of simple tricks with it. Eva's promises her younger brother she'll get him one just like this. 1986 Topples baseball card set, 40 winning tickets. The prize has slumped since everyone rushed to buy them a few years back, hoping to sell them at a profit later, even if they aren't interested in sports. Ryan's personal collection is only missing the 1986 and the 1984 sets. He loved this. Rubik's Cube, 35 tickets, a good but hard puzzle. Michael loves stuff like this. He'll probably solve it in 15 minutes. Unavailable. Prize for Michael. Unavailable. Unavailable. Dang, so I can't get the 8-ball? Trifling as hell. And the award for the best game of the night goes to Michael. What do you say? You want a Rubik's Cube? Looks fly. Never seen one like this before. Michael nods shyly. He's not used to getting anything right on the first try. He isn't thrilled about the prize, but Brian could have simply chosen the magic 8-ball for his girlfriend or the Slinky for Eva. He knows them way longer, but no, he chose Michael. He's on cloud 9. People are finally noticing him. Girls, you don't mind, do you? Obviously to the world, oblivious to the world, Eva's just staring at the leather-faced mask stretched over a jar of cheap marinated sausages. The mask is made of leatherette, not latex or silicone. It looks so realistic. Of course, up close, it isn't as menacing as in the movie, but the unknown artisan clearly put immense effort into it. You had to watch The Chainsaw Massacre 3 times. The family dinner is her favorite horror scene. She wants to ask the cashier whether he got the mask so she can buy one for Halloween. Alright, well, I'm getting tired of reading dialogue, so I'm just gonna let the screen do it for me.
Да здесь и выбрать-то больше нечего. Я рассмотрела коробку из-под шара. Дешевая подделка. В нем маловато ответов. И теперь есть шары куда круче и интереснее. Бери, Майк. И давайте уже уберемся отсюда.
За остаток билетов могу дать вам еще кое-что. Никто не знает, что на нее записано. Просто однажды нашел...
То есть, вместо добавочного приза вы отдаете чужую кассету?
Супер! Мы в большом плюсе.
Кажется, нас изрядно облапошили.
Это странная и таинственная кассета.
Мало.
Кажется, мы припозднились. Бабушка и дедушка...
Тогда ты ничего не потеряешь, если сделаешь это чуточку позже.
Ну, Майк, покажешь класс? Вы бы видели, что он творил, настоящий повелитель тыквы.
Потрясающе. На что еще потратим время? Предлагаю...
Вот на это время точно стоит потратить.
Надеюсь, что-то интересное. Хотя больше похоже на то, что какой-то маньяк записал свои зверства.
И воняет. Брай.
Это... странно.
Вот и я о том же. Надо посмотреть, что...
Если кубик не сахарный, то странно именно это, а не запахи кассеты.
Что случилось, ма?
Защемил палец только и всего. Неудачно повернул ось.
Помяни мое слово. В месте, где не чинят игровой автомат со Street Fighter, не знают, что такое хорошая игрушка и веселье. Предлагаю бросить кубик под тягач Абрахама. Представляете, как разлетятся детали?
Это будет невероятно! Думаю, Стивен Спилберг обязательно снимет фильм об этом событии. В общем, это я к чему?
Эш, у тебя же есть старый видеоплеер в сарае?
Предлагаешь посмотреть кассету? Ну, это могло хотя бы немного сделать вечер интереснее, но нашим парням, насколько помню, пора домой.
Майкл, а ты...
Собрал кубик?
Нет, завтра попробую еще раз. Лучше посмотрим, что на...
Чего встали? Пойдем в сарай.
А, школота. Я уж думал, это папаня заявился, чтобы снова прогнать телегу о том, как правильно жить. И что вы тут забыли?
ты разве не должен сидеть в своей комнате и изображать рассказ?
А ты вообще-то уже третий сон должна видеть, а не бродить по темным улицам. Хочешь потягаться со мной в том, кто сильнее разочарует предков?
Нет, я-то думаю о своем будущем. Просто мы хотели посмотреть кассету. Будь так любезен, освободи ненадолго телевизор.
Еще чего? Проваливайте по домам, детишки.
Тогда меняй телевизор на важную информацию. Важную для тебя, братец.
Предлагай.
Мы встретили твоих дружков, Сэм и Бобби, кажется. Они спрашивали, не отменили ли родители наказание и сильно сожалели, что ты не сможешь...
Думаешь, я куплюсь на это?
Но это правда. Я тоже видела их возле старой водонапорной башни. Кажется, они собирались угнать мотоцикл у Пэма и поехать на мукомольный завод.
Зачем, черт побери, им понадобился завод?
Дедушка рассказывал, что водители тягачей иногда тайно привозят на завод бурбон в канистрах. И многие местные покупают...
Но покупать выпивку эти парни точно не станут, а вот спереть... это было бы весело. Смотри, очкарик, если вы меня надули, вместо следующей боксерской груши я подвешу на крюк твою задницу. Тебя, Ева, это не касается.
Он же не станет меня...
Это ж брат Эшли, а не отморозок из старших классов, отбирающий у детей деньги.
Ну что, за дело?
Включай, Брайан. Надеюсь, она не пустая. Иначе Майкла поколотят просто так.
Она не может быть пустой. Садитесь поскорее, чтобы ничего не пропустить.
А тут есть еще светильники?
По крайней мере, это точно не маньяк.
Я бы не торопилась с выводами.
Приветствую.
Okay, well, that was Pink Noise. I'm still trying to figure out, are they Russian or is it another language? I'm really not sure. But this was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. There's not really much going on. I really just hate the fact that I couldn't choose that 8 ball. I wanted to choose the 8 ball. Who cares about the Rubik's Cube? I know it's from Michael, but still. But if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and a comment. It helps me out. And please subscribe to the channel and keep up with me so you can see what other gaming demo videos I have in store to post. Be sure to follow me on Twitch and TikTok. I stream as well Monday through Saturday. And yeah, I will see y'all later.